Every day, our body performs several important functions such as respiration, digestion, excretion, etc. Digestion is a vital one and it provides energy to our body. The process of conversion of complex food substances to simple absorbable forms is called digestion. The process of digestion is accomplished by mechanical and chemical process. The digestion process starts with the when we put food in oral cavity through the mouth. The teeth and the tongue, with the help of saliva, masticate and mixed up the food thoroughly. The saliva secreted into oral cavity contains electrolytes like sodium, potassium, calcium, bicarbonate ions, and enzymes, salivary amylase, and lysozyme. The chemical process of digestion is initiated in the oral cavity by the hydrolytic action of the carbohydrate splitting enzymes, the salivary amylase. About 30% of a starch is hydrolyzed by these amylase enzymes. Optimum pH 6.8 into a disaccharide maltose. Lysozyme present in saliva acts as an antibacterial agent that prevents infections. Mucus in saliva helps in lubricating and adhering the masticated food particles into a bolus. This bolus is then converted into the pharynx, conveyed into the pharynx, then into the esophagus by swallowing or deglutition. The bolus further passes down through the esophagus by successive waves of muscular contraction called peristalsis. The gastroesophageal sphincter, this is a one-way valve, controls the passage of food into the stomach. The stomach stores the food for 4 to 5 hours. And the stomach, the pre-enzymes pepsinogens on exposure to hydrochloric acids gets converted into the active enzymes. Pepsin, the proteolytic enzyme of the stomachs. Pepsin converts protein into the proteases and peptones, that is peptide. The mucus and bicarbonates present in the gastric juice play an important role in lubrication and protection of mucosal epithelium from the excoriation by the highly concentrated hydrochloric acids. HCl provides the acidic pH 1.8, optimal for persons. The renin, the stomach stores the food mixed thoroughly with the acidic acid juice of the stomach by the churning movements of its muscular wall and is called the chyme. The various types of movements are generated by the muscles layer of the small intestine. The first part of the small intestine is the duodenum. The movements helps in through mixing of a food with a various secretion in the intestine and thereby facilitates digestion. The bile, pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice are the secretions released into the small intestine. The bile released into the duodenum contains bile pigments bilirubin and biliverdin. the bile salts, cholesterol, and phospholipids, but no enzymes. And pancreatic juice contains inactive enzymes trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, peptidase, amylases, lipases, and nucleases. The trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme enterokinase secreted by the intestinal mucosa into an active trypsin, which is in turn activates the other enzymes in the pancreatic juice. Now the proteins, proteases, and peptones are converted into the dipeptides by trypsin or chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidase. These are the prolytic enzymes of the pancreatic juice. And the carbohydrates in the chyme are hydrolyzed by the pancreatic amylase into the disaccharides. And fats are broken down by the lipases with the help of bile into di and monosaccharides. And nucleases in the pancreatic juice acts on the nucleic acids to form nucleotides and nucleosides. The enzymes in the succus intricus acts on the end product of the above reaction to form repetitive simple observable forms. These final steps in digestion occur very close to the mucosal epithelial cells of the intestines. The intestinal mucosal epithelial has goblet cells which secrete mucus. The secretion of the brush border cells of the mucosa along with the secretion of the goblet cells constitute the intestinal juice or succus entericus. The juice contains a variety of enzymes like dipeptidase, maltase, lactase, sucrase, nucleosidases, nucleotidases, and lipases. And undigested, unabsorbed substances called feces enters into the cecum of the large intestine through a ileocecal valves which prevents the backflow of the fecal matters. It is temporarily stored in the rectum till the defecation. And the digested, the ejection of the feces to the outside through the anal opening, that is called defecation, is a voluntary process and is carried out by a mass peristaltic movements. And the activities of gastrointestinal tract are under neural controls, hormonal controls for proper coordination of the different parts. So the hormonal control of the secretion of digestive juices is carried out by the local hormones produced by the gastric and intestinal mucosa. The sight, a smell, and or presence of food in can stimulate the secretion of the saliva. Gastric and intestinal secretion are also similarly stimulated by the neural signals. The muscular activities of the different parts of the alimentary canals can also be moderated by the neural mechanism, both local and through the CNS. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.